you're here at Extra Time TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Sooklal, and once again, we're joined by our buddy from Scotland, James Baird. How are you today?
I am very good, Andre.
All right, so today for Trinidad Tobago fans, which is where we're from in the Caribbean, the Trinidad Tobago head coach, Angus Eve, the interim head coach, announced his squad, James. And I was going to start off with a rant, but I won't because that situation has been cleared up with the absence of Poon Angeron. But we'll explain that in a little while. So, James, before we get our responses, I'm just going to call out the squad real quick. So basically, the goalkeepers are Adrian Fonset, Nicholas Frenderup, Marvin Phillip, Aubrey David, Rodolfo Abubakar, Curtis Gonzalez, Justin Garcia, Neville Hackshaw, Delaney Peters, Jesse Williams, Alvin Jones, Tristan Hodge, Ross Russell Jr., Ashim Masia, Andre Fortune, Kaleem Highland, Dwayne Muckett, Judah Garcia, Marcus Joseph, Isaiah Lee, Kevin Molino, Rian Moore, and Ryan Telfer. So James, immediately what sticks out from this list is there's no Levi Garcia. Jovan Jones, it was reported that he's injured, so he's out. And Poon Angeron is a favorite of ours, or mine's at least, is not there. So let me hear your thoughts.
Obviously, Sheldon Battle's not there as well. It's another one, obviously, defensively a big player for us. So I think looking through the squad, goalkeeper-wise, obviously, as expected. I think we have three very good goalkeepers, which is obviously a very good plus point. I think we're overloaded with defenders, especially fullbacks, in my opinion, when I look. But I know some of these guys can double up. And even in that, I still think we're a little short, maybe in the centre back position. But again, I don't know what Angus's tactics would be. Is he going to go with a back three? Is he going to go with a back four? I'm guessing a four with the numbers, but we'll see. And then midfielder-wise, I think we look a little short in the middle too. And then up top, obviously, Lobo's back in there. Isaiah Lee, obviously, has been introduced to the squad. It's good to have Molino back. And Rian Moore's obviously inclusion. So it's a very interesting squad. There's a lot of talking points. I think it's good that Alvin Jones is back. I think he gives us that dimension on the right that we had probably lacked in games. But I just think we're a little light in midfield. And even, although there's a few players up top there. Obviously Lobo's came back in. I'm not convinced that we're going to get a whole barrel load of goals, there. So, as I say, the goalkeeping wise, I'm very happy with, but I will have to wait and see on game day to see how comfortable I am, with obviously what tactics Angus Eve goes with. But there is, as I say, some notable absences, as you mentioned, and I think those could have a huge impact on us as well, because remember, it is a very decent Montserrat squad.
Yep, and before we head into tactics and so on, Marcus Lobo Joseph is definitely the guy he's called in to get goals for us. Young Isaiah Lee, who really flourished under Angus at high school level. What do you think about those two inclusions in particular to solve, I guess, what apparently is that number 9 issue, which you have brought up many times? Telfer has been used there. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad in a sense that obviously Lobo and Lee are there, because I do not think Telfer is an in-and-out striker or a number 9 in my opinion. He's more of a left winger, But I know obviously Marcus Joseph Lobo, because from Central FC days, I think he's a very good striker. He's done well obviously in his stints abroad. I think he did very well in India. Isaiah Lee, I think he may be on the young side and he's obviously inexperienced, but again, these opportunities come once, so he may get a chance and then boom onto the scene. So we will see, but it's a lot of pressure I think on Marcus Joseph to get goals, because obviously Molino, Rian Moore and Telfer are there, but I think Lobo and Lee are the only two in and out strikers, if you get me. So the goals have to come from them. Most likely Molino and Telfer are probably going to be wide players. I would imagine that's how he's going to do it. But again, we're guessing because we just don't know tactic-wise. But I think, as I say, Lobo is a guy to get goals. My concern is obviously being back here and there's no football. So that's the one concern. But I think if he gets an opportunity in the box, he's going to score. As simple as that.
Mm. And the thing is, just to clarify on the injury issues. So, I got this confirmation from Angeron himself. He told me that basically he picked up an injury in training and it seemed as if he recovered, but he's not playing, not for any tactical reasons, just because he was injured and couldn't make the squad. So, he made sure and let me know when we put the squad up. So, it's good to know this, folks, because, I was baffled. I was going to go on a rant, James. I'll be honest with you. He was going to say Andrew's first rant. Why is our boy not there? So just to clarify that. So Jovan Jones obviously has his injury as well. So it's a squad that, we would have liked to have Levi Garcia, Jovan Jones, and Kevin Molino in there. That would have made us very potent. But, Angus is going to have to work with what he has. So, as you said, Lobo is very a potent striker. Both of us know him from Central FC and other places as well. But let's talk about tactics. So, I've known Angus and interacted with Angus for many years. And if it's one thing, and this is an educated guess, folks, I could be totally wrong. He could come with a totally different tactic when the game comes around, where he has indicated in the past that his favorite formation is, the 4-2-3-1 formation. And Angus, from what I've observed at Northeast Stars, when he started off at Naps, that he prioritizes shutting things up at the back. That's his thing. He makes sure that you don't concede goals, and that's like his primary focus. Is he ultra defensive? I wouldn't say that. I think he goes for that option first, from what I've observed. Maybe this may be different, where he's ensuring that we don't concede goals and maybe, get a nice counter-attacking goal and he's obviously familiar with, I don't know if Isaiah is going to play, but that's my best guess. I'm guessing that he's going to play the 4-2-3-1, but then you made a good point, James. I'm looking at the midfielders we have. If he's going to play with those two defensive midfielders, I'm guessing Kaleem Highland and maybe Andre Fortu, I guess. I'm guessing maybe the original plan was Poon and Duran. But this is the squad he's picked. That's my thoughts on the formation. What do you think?
Well, I can see where you're going with it, but I just think if he does go with that, he's going to have no options if, for example, Highland and Fortune, get tired, because to me, the other midfielders there tend to be, more offensive. Hashim Arcia obviously usually plays on front of the midfield too, in a sense, or just behind the striker. To me, Dwayne Muckett plays the same, position there. Judah Garcia maybe could, but I think the size obviously comes in there, But so I would question that. I mean, to me, with the amount of defenders we have, it makes me even think now. I don't know, as I say, Angus's tactics, but we have so many defenders there. Is he going to go with, I know in the Euros we've seen it a lot, they're playing a back three with two wing backs. I mean, it could be this what he's going to do internationally, because we seem to be overloaded, in my opinion, in fullbacks. So maybe that's what he's going to do, and he's going to play a midfield three with two up top. But then if you do that, in my opinion, you're not utilising Molino, and Telfer's, the width that they bring. So it's a very difficult one. But again, he would have studied Montserrat, and I think they obviously have, I think they put a 4-4-2 the last time I watched them. So again, he's maybe trying to utilise the way they're going to play. So I don't know. I mean, I think anybody's guess is as good as mine, but the squad that he has there, I am kind of baffled to see how he's going to do it. So, obviously the result's the most important thing. So whether it's a scrappy 1-0 victory or a 10-0 victory, at the end of the point, the fact is we need to get through this game. So we will see.
Yep. And do you think, obviously not having Levi Garcia and Jovan Jones is a big loss? That goes without saying. Levi has been great in the last couple of games that he played under Terry. He was one of our standout players. And that ability to create and get in between the lines with him and also Jovan will be something that we'll miss, because Montserrat, make no mistake, folks, and James has some knowledge on this team, is no walkover. So tell us what you think about the absent players such as Levi and Jovan Jones in relation to a team like Montserrat.
Well, I think Levi Garcia would have thrived in this kind of game. We saw him obviously against the other opposition in the previous games. The fact is that he could play out wide, or in my opinion, he can play as a centre forward as well. So I think and he's probably been one of our best players, for such a long time. And obviously he's playing at the highest level now in Europe as well. So he's going to be a huge loss. It makes me wonder, because I know he didn't have an injury. I think he chose to stay in Europe with his club. The change of coaches and all these things. Did these things, come into it? We don't know. The same with Sheldon Battle. I don't think it's an injury. I think he chose to stay with his club. So it'd be interesting to find that out. But we have to go with the team we have here, and I mean that's the most important thing. So, but touching on what you said about Montserrat, I mean when I was looking through, they have not even a sprinkling, a huge amount of players playing in England. I mean, all bar I think two. I mean their goalkeeper, which is Corin Brooks-Mead, plays in Cyprus, and then they have Marshall Willock, who plays in Finland. But generally, the rest of them, they have like Brandon Comley, who plays Bolton Wanderers. They have Lyle Taylor, their skipper, who plays for Nottingham Forest. They have Rohan Ince. I mean, this is a name that he was involved with Chelsea when he was younger. He's been around some big clubs in England. He plays at Woking now. But, I mean, when you look through the squad, I mean, Halifax, I mean, Welling United, Crewe Alexander, they have Donovan Daniels. These are some decent clubs, you know, so you can't just look at them and say, well, okay, they're lower league clubs. Some of these clubs are, you know, League One, League Two clubs. And I think we'll be surprised about the quality, because if there's one thing I know from obviously the British game, the standards, even in the lower leagues in the UK, is generally pretty good. They have very good, you know, technical aspect. You know, they're very good tactically. So I think this is going to be a very difficult game for us, one that we probably don't expect, you know.
Yep, and I think that a lot of people underestimate our Caribbean opposition still. You know, I hear a lot of people saying that, Trinidad and Tobago is not the powerhouse it used to be, but I don't think they believe it because they still look shocked. I mean, I remember the Puerto Rico game. I saw the comments where everybody was saying we should have won 4-0. I mean, the Bahamas game is an exception. That's just, you know, crazy. But, you know, heading into this game, Angus has one chance. It's like we mentioned in a previous video, this is quite a challenge for Angus. But, you know, it is what it is now. He's the coach. You live and die by decisions. Do you think this squad has enough to get past Montserrat?
If we all play to our ability, yes. I mean, if there's everybody pulling together. But again, I mean, just to touch on some of the results, I mean, this Montserrat team drew at El Salvador. Now, that's a massive result. I mean, I'm not even sure the Trinidad squad that we've had recently could pull that off. You know, so that's what worries me. They beat Grenada 2-1. They beat Virgin Islands 4-0. They drew 2-2 with Antigua and Barbuda. So, I mean, this is a team that can get results. They can score goals as well. Are we set up to be able to counteract that? I mean, I think defensively we have the strength there. And as I say, the one position I'm comfortable with is we have three great goalkeepers, and I'll be interested to see who Angus picks, because obviously Fonset played the last set of games. Obviously Nicholas Fendrick came back he's now back, obviously, from Denmark to play these games. And then you've got Marvin Phillip there as well. So I'll be interested to see who he picks as his number one. But to answer your question, this is not going to be an easy game. It'll be a nail-biter. I mean, both teams are going to have chances. And I think we will probably maybe just get it over the line, you know. I think we do have enough quality to win the game. But again, it's going to be one of those matches that, you know, it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah. My concern is, James, is match fitness. You know, obviously, you know, whatever you have problems or not with Terry's selections, you can say, okay, they had a couple games under their belt. You know, I know squads will never be unanimous. People will always have their opinions, who should be there, how you should play. You know, a lot of these guys haven't played, you know, competitive football. And well, not a lot, but, you know, there's obviously some guys in there, you know, like, for example, Isaiah Lee, and Marcus, who they are good players, but, you know, we haven't had any sort of football in a long time. This is an issue that keeps coming up. This is a crucial game. Do you think, in terms of fitness and the lack of training time Angus has had, that these guys will be able to perform at optimal levels, to be fair to the guys?
Well, the simple answer is no. They're not going to be able to hit the normal heights that they can hit. But I think grit and determination, and obviously pride for their country will carry them over, because we have some big leaders there. I mean, Abu Bakar's obviously there, Aubrey David's there, Highland's there. I mean, as I say, the three goalkeepers are experienced. Molino's obviously now, I think, vice captain, he said. So there's some characters there that can try and pull the team through. But I think that's also why, for example, Montserrat have picked so many English-based players, because they've all been playing or, you know, relatively recent. So obviously, I mean, I was looking through our squad there. We have at least 8 or 9 I can pick off the top of my head that have not been playing that regularly, you know. And some of those 8 or 9 will play from the start because they have to, you know. So it will be a challenge. But as I say, I think the fact that they're playing for their country These guys are professionals. They should have been keeping themselves fit, So let's hope that, the self-discipline or looking after themselves will give them that little edge,
Yeah, I've heard many coaches, past and present, keep indicating to players that, listen, your fitness is also part of your personal responsibility. I've seen a lot of elite athletes, not just in cricket, they constantly take care of their bodies and try to keep themselves in the best possible condition. And if you have to tell a player that, I don't think he belongs at the elite level. I'm pretty sure you agree with that, James.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even myself, I'm out of shape. I'm 38 now, and I still try to run, 12 to 16 kilometers, every second day. So, if I can do it at my age, these guys should be doing it. But, I know we're in a pandemic and all these things, but there's things you can do, It's not match fitness, as we said, but there's things you can do to keep fit. So let's hope that they've all been doing that.
Yes. All right, folks. So, you all heard the squad. Trinidad and Tobago has to play, if you're just joining us, Montserrat in a crucial playoff game that could possibly get us to the Gold Cup if we get a good result. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about the squad. Trinidad and Tobago fans, I know you have lots of thoughts about Trinidad and Tobago football, so let us know what you think. Do you agree, disagree with the squad? Do you think we're going to win? What do you think about Angus Eve's possible approach? Because we have no points of reference, just like we did with Terry. So let us know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and feel free to let us know what you think by sending us emails as well to extratimetvtt@gmail.com. So James, once again, it's always been a pleasure, and we'll be donning our Trinidad and Tobago jerseys for the game. And James and I will be there to try to maybe do a watch along. James is a busy guy. I'm a busy guy because we have the Copa America and the Euros. And we could probably have something different, a watch along where we sit and fans could join in and chat with us during the game. I'll probably be arguing a lot like I usually do. So folks, it's been a pleasure. And James, thank you for joining us. Just a reminder, everyone, for more episodes with Shaka Hislop, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, interviews, and content.